Hey guys, and welcome to my deck profile about my Zoo-Eldlich deck. I've placed 4th place finish on a giant map tournament a few weeks ago, and I've played this deck the last few locals, and I'm really proud of it, and it makes a lot of progress, and it's just a grind deck, you know. It's not a combo, so the thing you're most gonna do is like normal summon set for pass, and the first few turns you're just gonna get scooped. That means if you survive the let's say the first 3 turns, after that you're running. After that you're pretty much winning, except like Dragon Maid, because they have a better grind than we do. Because we have like 5 turns where we can do stuff, which is pretty much infinite in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5 turns, what is that? 25 minutes? 25-30 minutes. And the deck is mostly based on 3 cores. You have the Eldlich core, you have the Zodiac core, you have the Eldlich core, then you have the hand traps, and then you have the utility cards. These 2 cores stay consistent most of the time, pretty much, because they're what the base is back on, Zodiac and Eldlich. And the hand traps and utility cards, they adapt. So let's get right into it. First of all, I play standard 3 tanky, 1 barrage, pretty much standard in every zoo list. And then I play 5 zoos. I play 1 bunny blast, because it helps against the virtual world matchup when they you won't lose immediately to Quinlong, because you can just negate the activation of the effect. And then when they target it for the first effect, you can just use Zodiac Trident to pop it, so they lose 1 name. Then I play 2 Whiptail. 2 Whiptail just cause a lot of Eldlich is running around, and this card helps you against to banish the lords. It's super free when you have it in hand. Attack declaration, they summon Ding, you redeclare on Ding the attack declaration. Swoop this one under, 1 lord gone. They have 1 lord to play, because most of the deck plays 2. Then I play 1 ram, 1 thorough. 1 ram because nobody plays imperm, and it just helps against invoked, because they can't really use it. You can't really use punishment. And Thoroughblade is just a cycle. If you have 2 or more Zoo names in the hand, you can just cycle them. Yeah, that's the Zoo lineup. Then we continue with the trap lineup. I play the classic 2 Golden Lords. You need 2 Lords because it's pretty much mandatory right now. So much graveyard hate is around, so otherwise you're just gonna get banished and you will lose half your engine. It sucks to see them in the opening hand when you second, it's actually okay, because most of the time you can just discard it with a spell or trap you have in your hand and go and send 1. Oh, that's pretty okay. Then we play classic 3 Eldland, pretty much the best searcher in the deck, can search pretty much anything you want. An important tip is when you go Eldland and you have a Zoo, then you go Eldland, search Conquistador or Huaquero, depending what you need. Then summon Trident, overlay, then go end phase, and then end phase effect, pop the Eldland to send a Golden Land to grave. Because then you play around Veiler and you play around DD Crow, because otherwise they can just DD Crow your Golden Land out of grave. Sometimes what I do is if I have tanky and Eldland, I just go for Lord, so I have a pretty safe setup because they can't ash me. So then you run into DD Crow, but DD Crow is less seen than Ash. Then that's that, 3 of them. Then we have 3 Sanguine. Best elixir deck, elixir card. We played triple Conch and double Huaquero. If the meta starts to shift, I will scoop in a 3rd Huaquero and 1 Black Awakening. Because if you scoop in a 3rd, otherwise you don't have enough elixirs to cycle. So yeah, that's what I would do. Maybe change, I'm not sure. I've tried it with Elixir and Huaquero as well. I played a few tourneys with it, but the thing is, if you see it, if you go first game and you see Black Awakening start and as a second, it's pretty bad. If you see it as a first, it's good because you have a safe Lord on deck on board. Yeah. Then we go to the hand traps. They just shift depending on the meta. I play 3 Nibiru because I mean, I would change it maybe to Ghost Spell and put Nibiru aside, but depending on what turn I play, I swap it up before it starts, because when I play locals, I know most of the people don't play meta, so Nibiru's way stronger. If I go into a big tournament, I'm not sure if I would leave it actually in, because a lot of people don't expect the Nibiru nowadays, because Drytron and Virtual World, most of them don't play, some of them play around Nibiru, most of them run into it, so it's pretty unexpected. Best hand trap right now is Ash, Triple Ash, sorry, no feet Ash, Classic Ash from the Structure deck, Soulburner. Best hand trap right now. And then I opt in for 3 Skullmeister, because I prefer it over Bell, because you can hit, in my opinion, you can hit way more, and it's against the Eldlich, against the mirror it's better, because you can put them one turn behind. If they try to banish one of their traps, you can just go with Skullmeister, and you're good to go. And then you go for the tech cards, depending on the meta. Right now, Ice Dragon's Prison, pretty much the best card in the meta, in my opinion. Not much to say about it. Then Triple Strike. Strike's so good as well. Everything's monster-based effect or special summoning, and then you can strike them down, especially against a Witcher World. You can just the best thing is you have Strike and Ice Dragons. Then you can just strike it. Then you have one monster in grave. Then you go Ice Dragon's Prison, another one from the field, and you're pretty much good to go. And for the last card, I play 3 Droplet. It synergizes really well in this deck, because you can just Droplet, send a Lord if you have it in hand, and then it's live for next turn to get it back. And you can also cycle all your traps. And especially against virtual matchup, when you go second, you can just go Droplets. When they go VFD, Droplets, send a trap so they can Chuchi pop. And then you can try to make a play and wipe their board. Because if you do it correctly, you can win. If you break the Witcher World board, you win, because you have a better grind. If they don't put up Shen, then you will lose. And now go on to the extra deck. We play double Borbo. I'm waiting for the super rare reprint in the OTS 15. 1 Hammercon. I used to play 2, but now since I've cut down a little on the Zodiac package, I just play 1. It's more than enough. Double Chuckanine. Chuckanine, best card in the deck. You will see why in a moment. Double Tiger Mortar. Just to equip. A lot of times I just equip Whiptail from grave, banish lords. Then 1 Trident. Yeah, that was the Zodiac package. Makes the deck. Then we play 1 Vespenato. It's so good to push for damage. It's better than Gustav Max in my opinion, because if you side out 1 Lord, sometimes I side out 1 Lord, then Gustav Max is not alive anymore, but with Vespenato you can always use it, and turn 2 most of the time can kill. Yesterday I had a board, I just killed turn 2, which you normally can't do in this deck, because you can special summon enough, but if you can get Nibiru, Lord and Vespenato, it's already game. Then we play double Zeus, MVP of the meta and format, in my opinion. Such a good card. Just blow out everything. Chain negate, no chain again. Everything is blown away. We play 1 Link Spider, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This one's pretty good because it's a generic name, so you can just use both of your traps. Then you can send your Lord into grave if you have it in hand. 1 Ausa for the mirror, pretty good, and also sometimes just to steal like Pank. If somebody plays Pank, you can just go and steal Pank. And 1 BLS. BLS is auto win against a few decks like Sky Striker or Altergeist. If you can get it out, it's pretty much over for them, because they can't do nothing, because they can't target it and can't destroy it. And now for the side deck. Here we have triple Ghost Spell. Like I said, I'm thinking about if I would change it Nibiru into side and Ghost Spell main, but depending on the format and depending what tournament I play, I will have to swap it. Then double Cyclone, 1 Harpies. I'm thinking about cutting the Harpies for the 3rd Cyclone, because with Cyclone you can make better plays. Then we play 3 Ally of Justice Cyclo Reader. This card's pretty much blowout against Drytron. I'll play this card over Drawl, because in this deck you don't need to skip turn. You need grind, so you need 2 turns to kill them most of the time if you don't have the perfect hand. That's why I play this. And yeah, sorry, camera cut off again. I have to fix that. If I go to a normal tournament, I just play triple DD Crow inside instead of Cyclo Reader, because there nobody plays the Rhydron, and this card's pretty much only good against Rhydron and Eldlich, because you can banish the Golden Lord with it. So I would swap these cards out for DD Crows. In my opinion, like in smaller tournaments, way better, because you won't see that much Rhydron. Then we play double 1 Imperm and double Anti-Spell. This card's pretty much auto-win against Witcherwood. If you set it, they can't use half their spells, and then you can just grind them out 2 turns. This one's also pretty good against Rhydron and Witcherwood. If you see it, it's pretty much over, because they can't use their ritual spells, or neither can they use their Kowloon. They can't use Kowloon. Talents you save from a lot of stuff, and then triple Judgment, because game 2 everybody sides in a lot of back row hate, and otherwise you will lose. But some games I don't even side it in, because I rather set less cards and play for 2 or more turns instead of just going instant for the I set 5, because a lot of players also play evenly matched. So you have to really be really cautious about just setting maybe 2 and keeping 2 traps in hand for next turn. Just always, if you know game 2, you have to know what the matchup is, because you already know most of the time if they don't scoop them immediately. And then you can evaluate if it's worth setting more or less. If for example, for Virtual World, I need two things to stop them. So if I have a Trident plus let's say a Strike, most of the time it's enough. So yeah. So thanks guys for watching my deck profile. If you have any questions about the deck or recommendations, feel free to post them down in the comments. So yeah. Thanks guys for tuning in. Have a nice day and see you next time.